Man, this morning has kicked my butt, and it's not even 9 o'clock. Um, I never realized how stressful seeing hurt animals is. Like, I've seen hurt animals in the past, and I've had animals that we've had to put down because of brain tumors and sickness and illness. Even since I was a kid, my dad would take in retired police dogs. And a lot of those dogs suffered from like hip dysplasia, German working line German shepherds, and so I've seen animals in their older age and haven't been around animals that had to been put down. But just seeing animals in pain and uncomfortable, it it freaking hit me hard. This morning, this morning I came into our kennels, and we don't have a ton of dogs here. We've only got eight dogs, six dogs here, six dogs, two, four, six, yeah, six dogs here, and and they're all family dogs, so they're all like paired family dogs. We got a pair up in cabin four that are together, and then I have these two German shepherds that came in yesterday. And was speaking with the owners. Really, the only concern was when they're feeding, can we separate them? I was like, absolutely. And so I separated while they were feeding. Everything was cool. And then last night, put them to bed, took a video, put them to bed. Everybody was chill and down and good. And then this morning, I walk in and the German shepherds are together. They're together in the same run, the kennel, and one of them has a swollen, punctured eye, like a like it's been bit. It's almost like you can almost see, you feel like it's just been bit. And the eye's all pussy. And I freak out. I don't freak out in a sense of like lose panic or anything like that. I'm like, this just hurts. Like my heart hurts. Like I'm crying. I literally was crying with this dog as I'm trying to wipe its eye off and kind of look at it. And then I have to make the phone call. Like I have to call the owners and tell the owners that your dog's hurt, and take pictures and videos and send that. Now, fortunately, one of the coolest things that I have at my disposal, dog training with dad, is that I'm in partnership with a veterinarian of 30 years. And so obviously immediately I pick up the phone and I call Doc. Actually, Doc texted me first thing this morning and was like, how is everything? And normally I just text him back, everything's great, everything's cool. I picked up the phone and called Doc and sent him pictures and video of the dog. And we talked through what we could do immediately right now here on the facility. And then I called the owners immediately, 8 a.m. this morning. She didn't answer, and then she called me right back. And not the damn owners, the owners are like, oh yeah, this happened before. Did she actually break the skin? I'm like, yeah, the eye freaking is swollen. And uh, so the owners have seen this before, like their dogs have gotten into it and got this dog has been bit in the face before. Um, the owners are fine. Everybody, the dog's going to be fine, by the way. The dog is not in, he didn't lose his eye. He didn't get bit in the eye. He got bit like right by the eye, and it's just cut and swollen and pussy. And the dog's going to be fine. We're gonna take the dog to the veterinarian first thing in the morning. We're gonna hold off on Sunday. It's not a life-threatening thing, but man, it freaking hurts. Like it hurts me. I know the dog is fine. The dog is sitting down, laying down right now, and you can see the dog back there with the Elizabeth collar on, and the dog's just chilling, laying right now, and the suspect is over here. And I'm not mad at the other dog. I'm mad more at myself because I have the room. I'm not mad at myself for not separating them, but I feel like I could have just separated them last night. We charge differently if you use one run or two runs, but I wouldn't even charge. I would just separate them for safety's sake. And so it sucks, man. It sucks. And I know, listen, there's a lot of suffering people in the world, and I'm not trying to take away from people's suffering, but to see animals hurt, like I didn't know that like there was this chamber in my heart that was going to hurt so much when I saw an animal in pain. And so freaking got to toughen up, I guess, if I'm going to train and board dogs and run a kennel that can hold 50 dogs. Because, like I said, we're real low numbers right now, but we have a facility that'll hold 50. And so, yeah, and I'm not beating myself up. Don't worry about that. I don't feel responsible in the sense of I could have done anything different. People tell me, I ask them, do they go in? Do you want them in the same run? Do you want the dogs to be together? Yes, we want the dogs to be together. So if the owners want dogs to be together, that's what I'll do. At the same time, I have separated dogs that the owners told me they can be together because I immediately saw something. Like I brought dogs in here, immediately put them in a run, and then they start fighting. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to be responsible for that. So if I had an extra run, I could toss them over to another run. So I'm not beating myself up. I just didn't know. I didn't know I had my like this thing. This is more about like this little chamber in my heart that I didn't even know existed. Like when you get I figured this out as a dad. You have a new kid, or you have a kid, right? And you love this firstborn child, and then you're gonna have a second child, and you're like, how can I love them the same? How can I love my children the same? Because when your child is born, there's like a new chamber in your heart that is opened up with love for like a personal chamber of love for that child. You don't know that chamber of love exists until you have that child in your life, right? And I've seen this with all my children, all three of my children. I felt like a new chamber of love opened up in my heart. The same thing happened to me this morning. It's the same exact feeling that I had when I had kids, that when you see a dog in pain, all of a sudden there's this anguish, this pain, this hurt in your own life, even though there's nothing, you didn't cause the pain in the dog's life. You didn't do anything. You just see a dog in pain, and all of a sudden this new chamber of love in my heart was opened up, or was already open, that I didn't know existed. And so that's where my stress and my not knowing that that's how I would react. Like I can handle a dog, the blood. I'm not worried about a dog biting me if the dog's fearful or angry. I'm not worried about any of that, handling big German Shepherd with a cut open eye. But man, that the freaking, like I sat right here, nothing, doing nothing, no fun, just sat right here and cried for a dog. And I don't even like the owners very much. But I love dogs, man. I love and care for dogs more than anything other than my own family. And so I can see how people, man, they will do some desperate things for their animals because there's a chamber of love. And I obviously have felt this about my own animals, but just random animals that you're just keeping for a couple of days. It's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing. Hey, thanks for joining. I know this wasn't dog training right now, by the way. I'm not talking about, I don't even know what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go run some dogs, but thanks for watching. I'm out of here. I'm going to go do something.